Welcome to Analog Integrated Circuits Design class. This is lecture number 9 on Unit 2. And in today's class, we'll see how a two-stage op-amp can be designed. Before looking at the design of a two-stage op-amp, we'll quickly see one numerical on this. So the question is, calculate the small signal gain and maximum voltage swing of a folded cascode op-amp. Assume that gamma is a body effect coefficient that is also not equal to 0. So can I ask this? Yeah, Aditya N, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Aditya, can you tell me what circuit diagram are you seeing on the screen now?
Sir, there's a folded cascode here.
Yes, it's a folded cascode and with an input pair.
With an input PMOS pair.
Very good, very good. Very good, Aditya. So this is a folded cascode with a PMOS input pair. Right, now the question is you need to find the small signal gain and maximum voltage swing of this circuit. So how do we start? How to get the small signal gain of this circuit? Abhishek, are you there? Abhishek?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Abhishek, can you tell me what is the small signal gain of this circuit?
Sir, we can take it as a folded cascode structure, and so any of them like GM8, GM8, GM1, R8, R10, or GM1, M3, M5 like that. Parallel
Okay, tell me for one side. Yeah, take one side and tell me what is the expression.
Yes, sir. GM1, GM3, RO3, RO5, parallel to GM9, RO7, GM7, RO7, RO9.
GM7, RO7, RO9. Is this correct? Okay, thank you, Abhishek. Any other answers? Atmik?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, GM3 R03 into R05 parallel to R01.
Very good.
For the downside.
Yeah.
Then
and the upper
for
half? That is
upper
correct.
half will be yeah, correct, sir.
All right. Thank you, Atmik. Yeah. So what you have to do here is you have a fully differential circuit, so you can assume that the input signal the input is asymmetric and the circuit is symmetric. So the line of symmetry point, this is the line of symmetry. This will be ground, right? So if that is the case, you have capital GM as GM1. So you can include GMB as well, because given that gamma is not equal to 0, so GM can be GM1. Now when you write the output impedance R out, you can take one branch. So the resistance seen up in parallel to the resistance seen down, I'll mark it as RP and RN. So it is RP parallel to RN. Now RP is same as what we have here, which is GM7 R07 into R09, and Rn is the resistance seen down. So from here, so here you need to be careful. We are looking at the drain of M3, but at the source of M3 you have two resistance. One is R05 here, and another one is this branch is R01. Yeah, so it is R01 parallel to R05, which will be magnified by GM3 R03. This will be the resistance looking down the branch. So the small signal gain will be GM1 multiplied by the R out. All right. So what about the voltage swing?
So I have a doubt.
Yes.
Like in RP and RN, shouldn't we include like GMB, like GM3 plus GMB?
Yes, you have to include GMB as well, because gamma is given as 0. So you have, wherever you have GM, that will become GM plus GMB. That is right. I didn't include that. So for the inclusion of gamma, you have to do that. Is it clear, Bhuvan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So swing, output swing also you can write. So the swing on one side you can write and you can make it twice because the output is fully differential. So from VDD you have there are 4 transistors in stack. So M10, M8, M4 and M6. So your output is from this point. So a total of 4 transistors overdrive need to be detected to get the output voltage swing. So that is how you can solve this question. So quickly we will see one design of a 2-stage op-amp. So the question is design a 2-stage op-amp for the specifications given. You can take a power budget which is equal to 6 milliwatt. The output swing is 2.5 volt. So the circuit given, a 2-stage op-amp, the circuit given is a single-ended circuit. That is why it is just given as output swing. Otherwise, it will be written as differential output swing. And you can also take that the minimum length of the devices as 500 nanometer. That means the minimum length what you can choose for a MOSFET is 500 nano, but you can have any value higher than that, not smaller than that. You can also take the constant values mu n Cox as 60 microamps per volt square and mu p Cox as 30 microamps per volt square. Right. So the question is to design a 2-stage op-amp. So what you have to do is you have to I'll give you the circuit diagram first. The circuit is of a PMOS input pair differential amplifier. So this is your first stage where you have PMOS as the input pair, which is single-ended again. So I need to connect a current mirror load, and it has to be connected in this fashion. Now input which should be given to the gates of these 2 MOSFETs. So this is V in. Now this is the top current source which we need to be biased separately. If I number the transistors, I'll number this as M1, M2, the current mirror load as M3 and M4. And the output of the first stage will come from here. And this will actually go to the gate of the second stage, which is a simple CS amplifier. But here we are using NMOS device as the input. And the load will be another PMOS here. That will be connected to the same bias voltage of the previous stage current source. And this is the output point, V out. This is VDD. If I number continuously, it is 4. Then here we have 5. I'll number this as 5. This is M6 and this is M7. So this is a circuit diagram given. You have set of specifications here to work out. Along with this, there are some other conditions given. One is when you do the design, you can allocate 1 milliamps current to the output stage. And also, you can assume equal overdrive to the output transistors. That means M5 and M6. With that condition, you can determine the size of 5 and 6. W by L of 5 and 6. This is the first question. Then the second part is you can calculate the voltage gain of the output stage. Voltage gain of the output stage. Then the third part of the question is the current what you can take through the current source transistor, which is M7, is 1 milliamps. So with that, you can find the size of transistors 3 and 4, which are the current mirror load transistors, but with one condition: the gate source voltage of 5 should be equal to the gate source voltage of 3. And the last part of the question is calculate the aspect ratio of the input transistors 1 and 2 such that you will get an overall voltage gain of 500. All right. So the other constants are, you can choose lambda n as 0.1 per volt, lambda p as 0.2 per volt, the threshold as 0.7, both for NMOS and PMOS. All right, so how will we start this design? You have set of specifications and set of conditions to design the two-stage op-amp given here. So how will you start? Ananya? Are you there, Ananya?
Yes,
Anu?
sir.
Yes, yeah, Ananya. Tell me, how will you start this design?
We need to find the current from power budget.
All right, okay. So, okay, so how will you start? You have 6 milliwatt, that is a power budget, but VDD is not given. I'll give VDD. VDD is equal to 3. So do you really need the current from the power budget? Because in the question, there are two conditions given where you can allocate the same current to the output stage as well as the input stage. That means current is known. So what is the current in the output stage? Are you there, Ananya?
Yes, sir. It will be 1 milliamp.
All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ananya. So, Anup, are you there, Anup?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is the current in the output stage here?
1 milliamp, sir.
1 milliamps. What about input stage?
So it's also 1 milliamp.
That is also 1 milliamps. All right. Yeah. So with this, how will you solve part 1? So we have allocated 1 milliamps of current to the output stage. And one more condition is given. You can take equal overdrive to M5 and M6. So how will you find the aspect ratio of the output transistors 5 and 6?
Sir, using the current equation.
So in current equation, you need the overdrive voltage of the transistors.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what will you choose for the overdrive for M5 and M6? Both are equal. So what will be the value?
Around 1 volt.
Okay. How will you decide that?
Sir, more for PMOS and less for NMOS. So
Yeah, but here in the question it is given, no? You can assign equal overdrive to M5 and M6. So both will have same.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, if both have same overdrive, how much we can assign? On what basis will you assign overdrive to the transistors? All right. Yeah, listen here. So you have the supply voltage given as 3 and the output swing is given as 2.5. So what is the meaning here? You have a room of 3 volt that is from 0 to VDD. The total voltage available is 3. And given that the output swing is 2.5, so you have an output swing which is close to 2.5. So this is 2.5. And what you have here is 3. So what is remaining? Remaining is 0.5 and that you need to assign equally to the transistors 5 and 6. That means if you solve the A part of the question, you can choose overdrive voltage of 6 equal to overdrive voltage of 5 and both can be equated to 0.25 volt because 0.5 is the remaining voltage leaving the swing. Is it clear? So overdrive is known. The current of 5 and 6, both the current through both transistors are known. So that is 1 milliamps. That means you can find the aspect ratio of transistors 5 and 6. Can I get the answer? You can post in the chat box. Yes, Yashita, your answer is? Yeah, you have to use the mobility. Mu and Cox and mu p Cox are different. So your result W by L will not be equal. At least there will be a difference in your W by L of N will be, sorry, W by L of P will be equal to twice of, at least twice of that of N. So W by L of 6 is not 329. 5 is not 165. Can you check it again? Current is 1 milliamps, overdrive is 0.25. That is correct. The remaining you have mu n and mu p Cox values. When you substitute that, you will get W by L of 5 and 6. Yes, W by L of 5 is equal to 533, correct? And W by L of 6 is yes, double of this, 1066 or 1067. Yes, that is right. Yeah, so that's all about first part. Now coming to the second part, you can calculate the voltage gain of the output stage. So output stage is having, so this is the input and this is the output. So what you have is a common source amplifier. So the second part, you can write the gain. I'll write it as AV2 because it is a gain of the second stage, and that can be written as GM5 into R05 parallel to R06. GM5 into R05 parallel to R06. So you can find what is GM5, what is R05 and R06, because current is given. You can find R05 and R06, and yeah, you got it, Yashita. Yeah, it is 533. And you can also find GM5 by with the help with the W by L values which we obtained in the part 1. So can I get the answer for voltage gain of the output stage? So what is R05, R06 and GM5? With those values, you can get the voltage gain of the second stage. So any answers for this? GM5, R05 and R06. So if you calculate, you will get a voltage gain of the second stage close to some 26.66. You can verify with the answers what you're getting for GM5, GM5, R05 and R06. That is second part. If you're getting this answer, the same answer, you can post here in the chat. I'll quickly verify that. Now coming to the third part of the question. A third part says that the current through M7 is 1 milliamps. So M7 is the first stage. So the current is 1 milliamps. That means you can take equal current distribution to the input pair. This is 0.5 milli and this is also 0.5 milli. One more condition is you can find the size of transistors 3 and 4 such that VGS of 5 is equal to VGS of 3. So VGS of 3 is this. VGS of 3. That should be equal to VGS of 5. That is the only condition. All right, so how will you calculate that? So we know the current through all the transistors in the first stage, which is 1 milliamps and 0.5 milliamps through M1, M2, M3 and M4. Now what is VGS of 5? Let us first find what is VGS of 5. So VGS of 5 can be obtained from VOD 5 and the threshold voltage of 5. So VOD is 0.25 and plus threshold is 0.7, which is equal to 0.95 volt. VGS of 5 is 0.95. So this voltage here, this is equal to 0.95, and you know that the gate of M5 is tied to the drain of M4. That means this overdrive will also be equal to 0.95, right? And the VGS3 also should be same. That means this also will be equal to 0.95. Yes, Avinash, gain is 26.67 for the second question. Yes, that is right. I don't have the values of GM5, R05 and R06, but anyway, when you substitute that, you will get this AV2. Now coming to the third part, you got the value for VGS of 5, which is 0.95. That is same as VGS of 3. Now current through transistors 3 and 4, that is 0.5 milliamps. That means you can find the aspect ratio of the transistors 3 and 4. So both transistors M3 as well as M4 have equal VGS and equal VDS. Yes, Amitesh, your question is VGS of 5, right? Yeah. The question, it is given that you have to determine the size of 3 and 4 transistors by keeping the gate to source voltage of both the transistors equal. Which transistors? 3 and 5. So VGS of 5 is the output transistor. The gate voltage of M5 should be same as gate voltage of M3. So you can see that in the input stage you have two transistors, current mirror. So the VGS of M3 and VGS of M4 both are shorted. That means both will be definitely equal. So I can say that VGS of 3 will be equal to VGS of 4. That should be equal to 0.95. That is what the condition is. The given condition is that. Now we know that a current mirror will carry the same current if the VDS and VGS voltages are equal, right? So if M3 and M4 have equal VGS and equal VDS, whatever current M3 is carrying, the same current M4 will also carry. All right. So based on the given condition, we have obtained the voltages VGS3 as well as VGS4, and with that you can find the W by L of 3 and 4. Is that clear, Amitesh?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Sir, how did we get 0.95, sir? VGS3?
VGS3, all right. So the overdrive of 5 is given as 0.25. We can see that. Overdrive of 5 is given as 0.25. We got it in the from the first step. Because the output swing is 2.5 from the supply voltage, leaving the output swing, we have only 0.5, and that should be equally divided among the output transistors. So it is 0.25 each. Is it clear, Amitesh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now what is it? Yeah. Tell me the relationship between the overdrive voltage and gate voltage, VGS voltage. What is the relation?
Overdrive voltage is VGS minus VT.
That's all. So what is VGS?
Oh, yes, sir. Understood.
It
Yes,
is
sir.
overdrive plus VT. That is what I have written here. Overdrive plus VT.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So any answers for W by L of 3 and 4?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, VGS of 5, is it equal to overdrive of 4?
VGS of 5, is it equal to? Yes. Because it is tied, right? The drain of M4 is tied to the gate of M5. That means the drain voltage, the VDS voltage or the overdrive voltage is equal to VGS5. Yes.
Sir, but if we then substitute overdrive is equal to VGS minus VT and try to find VGS from there, sir, we won't be getting 0.95 again, right?
Come again?
Sir, we just found out that overdrive for M4 is 0.95.
Yes.
So if we substitute 0.95 is equal to VGS of 4 minus VTN.
Come again, 0.95 is equal to VGS of 4
minus VTN.
Mm.
VGS of 4 cannot be 0.95 again, right, sir? But because the current mirror, from the current mirror, it should have been the same.
Yeah, so look at this. If you look at this part of M3 and M4, whether the gate of both devices are shorted,
Yes, sir, they are.
Yeah, that means VGS of 3 and VGS of 4 both are equal.
Yes, sir, but yes, sir, that's one way to look at it. But if we see it from the overdrive voltage equation,
Yeah, so see, what is the condition? We say that overdrive is equal to VGS minus VT, and this is the edge of the triode region or edge of the saturation region.
yes, sir.
Isn't it? Now, I am depending on the condition given in the question, I am assigning the overdrive of M4 as equal as the VGS value. Does it mean that the device is moving out of saturation?
No, sir.
No, that means the device is still in saturation. Instead of at the edge of saturation, the device is a little more deeper into saturation. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understood your confusion in this. So in this case here, when I'm finding VGS5, I have directly taken this equation and I have just added it, or I assume that the overdrive voltage is equal to VGS minus VT, which is the edge of saturation condition.
Yes, sir.
Right. So we can work. So you can work. The transistor should be finely in saturation. Whether it is edge of saturation or deeper into saturation depends on the requirement, the other requirement. So here in this specific question, the WL of the 3 and 4 is asked to find by keeping that condition. Means more deeper into saturation, not at the edge of saturation. That is only difference.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and one more thing. Yeah, I think Anushka is having another question. So there is one more thing to get clarified here. Your question is, how can we say for M4 VDS is equal to VOV if it's not at the edge of saturation? Anushka, can you ask that again? M4.
So basically, we're not sure that M4 is at edge of saturation or whether it's deeper into saturation, right? But we took VOV of M4 equals the VDS, like for calculating the, like even for M3 value also. So how can we do that if we're not sure if it's at the edge of saturation?
So if the condition is not given, so in this case, with the condition only, I have taken that the transistor is deeper into saturation. Otherwise, all the transistors in an amplifier should be in saturation, and the worst case it should be at the edge of saturation, not to the linear region. So if there are no other conditions given, you can actually take it as close or as it is equal to the edge of saturation. But from the part 3 of this question, you can see that the question is asking that the transistor is not just at the edge of saturation, it is more deeper into saturation. Right. So whether it is at the edge of saturation or more deeper into saturation, the amplifier circuit is perfect. The only thing is, depending on how we allocate this, your output swing will get changed. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. So it all depends on VB, right? Because they've not given us a VB value. So
Yeah,
we can
yes. Yeah. So for this specific question, there are limited constraints given. So if you have the whole set of constraints, then you will there will not be any any hanging parameters.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Avinash, when you were asking, yeah. So the why in this specific question it is given that VGS of 5 should be equal to VGS of 3. Can you tell me what is the implication if you have equal VGS for M3 and M4 and equal VDS for M3 and M4? What is the implication? But this is a current mirror. M3 and M4 form a current mirror. Now, if the current mirror is having VGS and VDS equal, then both the sides will have equal current. But that will not be okay. I'll come back to that after solving this. WL of 3 and 4, you will get answer very close to 266. I think Ayushi, yeah, you posted it. It is 266.67. All right. So coming back to this current mirror part, this is something we need to understand. So this is the current mirror part. So for a current mirror, whatever current I am pumping here, the other part or the drain of this will also carry the same current under only one condition. What is the condition? The VGS of both transistors and VDS of both transistors should be equal. Only when your VGS and VDS equal, you will have same current. Otherwise, the output current will be slightly different from the input current. Is that point clear? So for a drain current, for the transistors to carry equal drain current, VGS and VDS should be equal. Yes. What is the, yeah? Do you have a question? All right, Akash, yeah. All right, so coming back to the last part of the question, you need to calculate W by L of M1 and M2 such that overall voltage gain should be equal to 500. So how will you get the value of the input transistors? How will you get the W by L of input transistors? That is the fourth part, W by L of input transistors 1 and 2. How will you get that? Only one condition is given. The overall gain should be equal to 500. So let us write what is overall gain of this circuit. So the first part is a PMOS differential amplifier. So when I write AV, it can be written as AV1 into AV2. And AV2 we have already written and calculated. AV1 is GM of 1, 2 into R0 of 2 parallel to R0 of 4. This is AV1. Right. Now, AV2 we calculated, and AV2 is equal to 26.66. 26.66. So the total voltage gain is given as 500. So I can write it as 500 is equal to AV1 into 26.66, or I'll get AV1 as GM of 1, 2 into R02 parallel to R04, which is equal to 500 by 26.66. And now you can find R02 and R04 value, and from that you will get GM of 1, 2 value here. So once GM value is there, you can substitute the expression for GM as under root of 2 ID mu n or mu p Cox W by L. It is mu p Cox. And mu p Cox value, ID value, and GM value will be known, and from this you can get the value of W by L. So what answer you are getting for W by L of 1 and 2? 264. Yes, very good. W by L of 1 and 2 is 264. What is the GM value? GM of 1 and 2. Close to 19 point. Oh, it is 2.812 milliamps. 2.812 milliamps. So GM will be equal to 500 divided by 26.66 into this R02 parallel to R04. So please check. I don't have GM value with me. So please check whether this value is correct. 2.812. And from that you can get the value of W by L. So with this, we are winding up the lectures on op-amp, and if you have any questions, you can ask now. I can take questions. And next week, from tomorrow onwards, tomorrow we do not have class. From the next week on, we'll start unit 4. All right. So thank you so much for joining. Please stay on.